Hello, hello. It is 7:15. It's 7:16. Hello, hello. And we're going to get started today. If you have your props, great. And I just want to get some stuff out of the way at the beginning. If you don't already follow us on Instagram, please go to Yoga with Caryn and give us a follow. And also subscribe to this YouTube channel. Feel free to share with your friends. The more you share, the more it helps people like you who need this kind of gentle practice. It helps those people find us, the more subscribers we have. And there is information. We just wanted to go ahead and give some gratitude out there to those of you who have been donating. This is a class where we just offer it for free on YouTube, obviously, but if you do feel blessed and you wish to donate, there is information in the About section in the YouTube channel information. And comment if you have any trouble with that. And other than that, we'll get started. I just wanted to get some of the business stuff out of the way so that when you're all yoga drunk, you can just run along your way. So we're going to start at the wall tonight. Go ahead and grab a blanket and get it laid next to the wall. If you don't have a wall that works comfortably for this, you can use the side of a dresser, the back of a chair, the back of a couch, etc. And we'll start by putting your legs up the wall. So you're just going to come onto your side and bring your seat all the way up to the wall with your head towards the center of the room, just basically perpendicular to the wall. And then roll your legs up. And we're going to start this evening by bringing the soles of the feet together so that your legs are in butterfly. And then reach the arms straight up above and grab for opposite elbows. So first, just reach them out long. Take a nice big stretch out. And then reach for opposite elbows. There's a tendency here to want to press into the thighs and force this to be more or bigger or something. Tonight, because we're in a gentle class, or today, whenever you are watching this class, we're just letting it be. We're just here to bring some opening and welcoming some renewal of energy here. So start to find your breath right here in this possibly slightly uncomfortable position, maybe very comfortable for some of us. Start to find your breath and allow it to become just a little bit wider, a little bit deeper than normal. And we're just allowing it. We're not forcing it to be bigger. We're just noticing and accessing the space that is in our lungs that maybe we're not using throughout the day. And then you might be noticing I'm breathing into my chest or I'm breathing into my belly. Tonight, we're going to just think about what it would be like to send that breath in and down into the belly, filling up the belly, and then filling up the lungs. So we're letting our diaphragm do its job, which is to press and open and give more space to the lungs. And then as you exhale, the breath comes out of the lungs first, and then the belly. Into the belly, then the lungs, out from the lungs, then the belly. It actually takes a little more concentration than it sounds like it would. Take 2 more nice open breaths like this. Down into the belly and then the lungs, and then out of the lungs and out of the belly. And then we'll release the arms and bring the knees in. Gently lengthen the legs back up the wall. And if you need to, bounce the knees a little bit. Give yourself a little release from the hut. And then this part, you may have to scoot a little bit away from the wall and give you some space between your rear and the wall. This is just going to depend on what you feel as you get there. So our goal is to keep the hips, the glutes on the earth. So keep that in mind while we move into this. And bring the right ankle to the left thigh. And then start to gently, very little motion at a time, start to bend into that left knee. And as soon as your butt starts coming up off the floor, the blanket, you've gone a little too far. So unbend a little bit if that starts to happen. The goal is not to shove your legs towards your torso, but to open into that right hip flexor, that right glute might even feel something, and that right inner thigh. And then if you want a little bit more, you can gently press into that right thigh, and then start to just sway the knees side to side. Keep that right foot nice and flexed to protect that right knee. And make sure you notice what's happening in your breath here. And then as you're ready, start to straighten the left leg and then unravel the right. And switch sides, left onto right thigh, flexing the left foot and then starting to bend into that right knee. Keep in mind to avoid pressing into the knee. So when I said you can give yourself a little extra pressure, it's very important to keep that hand on the thigh and not press into the knee. Our knee is a bit of a codependent. It'll take the stretch for you, and we don't want that. So as you rock side to side, begin to come to a place where you want to start to straighten the left leg and then, straighten the right leg and then unravel the left. Shake or gently bounce the knees out. And then for a few breaths, bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a hug, a squeeze, rocking side to side. And you might feel inclined to move into happy baby pose for a few breaths as well. Still continuing a little bit of motion, keep that gentle rocking happening so that there's still an encouragement of that blood flow. Plus, it's just fun. So let yourself have a little fun. It doesn't have to be serious. You can laugh at yourself. And then when you're ready, bring the knees back to center and roll all the way onto one side so you can press yourself up to a seat. And we're going to come to a cross-legged seat. Just a nice, easy seat, which means you might need a blanket under the rear, or your hips might actually feel surprisingly a little more open right now than normal because we did do a little accessing them. So let's come into our breath. Let the shoulders drop down towards the earth. And we've opened a little bit into one of our emotional centers of the body, which is the hips. So as you close your eyes and find your breath, I want you to think of some items that would be on your gratitude list today, and then bring your palms together at the heart when you're ready. So just maybe 2 to 4 items for your gratitude list, big or small. And don't overthink it, just let it come. The top of my list is almost always coffee or tea, and that's okay. Doesn't mean I'm not deep or I don't care about other things. It's just accurate. So let's take in a nice big inhale of gratitude. And exhale anything that is not serving you right here, right now. Keep this breath in and out through the nose. Let the shoulders continue to roll down towards the earth. Inhaling gratitude and exhaling anything that is no longer serving you. Take a nice big inhale and lift the fingertips up towards the sky. Separate the palms. And exhale, bring that left hand down, right hand up and over. Bending into that left elbow. And my hand is about in line with my hip. So keep that in mind. And then take another big exhale, sinking deeper. Inhale towards the sun. Exhale towards the earth. Inhale towards the sun or the moon, whichever you feel drawn to. Exhale to the earth. Inhale and exhale. So inhale back to center, and then we're going to exhale and sweep down across and walk over to the other side. And inhale. And then bend into that elbow even deeper on these next couple of breaths. Inhale towards the sun. Exhale to the earth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to center, and then exhale, sweep down and find your forward fold. And let it be what it needs to be this evening. So if you're feeling that openness that we just accessed, let yourself sink into it. And if you're not, give yourself grace. Doesn't mean anything. It's not good, it's not bad, it's where you are today. Wouldn't it be nice if we could remember that all the time when we think judgmental thoughts? Take just a couple more breaths here. And the next time you inhale, lift the fingertips as you lift the torso. The arms and the fingertips come all the way back up with you. And then exhale the hands down to the heart. Switch the cross of your legs. Inhale, lift the fingertips up, separate the palms. Exhale into your twist to the left. Bringing that right hand to your front knee, left hand behind you. Finding length in the spine as you inhale and width in the breath as you inhale and exhale. Take one more long inhale here. And as you exhale, sweep the arms all the way back to the front. Inhale here, dropping the shoulders. Exhale to the other side. Keep lengthening the spine. and let your breath support you. The next time you inhale, lengthen even longer through the spine, and as you exhale, sweep the arms out and up back to the center. Inhale right at the center, and then exhale, fold forward. The next time you inhale, lift the torso and the fingertips and the arms all the way back up. Exhale the hands down to the heart. And then come into tabletop when you're ready. Find 3 to 5 cat-cows this evening. Inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the heart. Exhaling, lifting the spine, curling away from the mat. Inhale up. Continue for just 3 or 4 more breaths. And then you'll find a nice neutral spine. Inhale one more time, bringing the belly towards the earth, heart up. Exhale, curl the spine and all the way back to child's pose. Inhale up to cow. Exhale back to child's pose. So continue this for 3 more breaths. Inhale up and exhale, curl all the way back. And then inhale, come back up. And we'll take down dog just for a few breaths tonight. So we're going to take a nice big inhale and walk each hand forward, at least 1 handprint. And then you're going to exhale up to down dog when you're ready. To check your length in down dog, inhale forward to plank. And notice if you need to move your arms, adjust anything. Pull the low belly in and up. So my butt shouldn't be up in the air here. And then exhale back to down dog. We'll spend 5 breaths here. And then inhale forward to plank. Exhale back to down dog. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale back to down dog. Inhale forward to plank. And exhale back to down dog. And then inhale, bring your knees to the mat. Bring your hands back underneath you for tabletop. Bring your left hand right underneath the face. And inhale, open that right arm all the way out and up. Exhale, thread the needle. Beautiful. Don't you wish your wife called you beautiful? I get to call my husband beautiful on YouTube. So keep the hips right above the knees as best you can here. The tendency sometimes is to sink the hips back to take you kind of out of the pose. One more inhale and exhale here. And then press into that left hand as you inhale, sweeping that right arm all the way out and up. And then exhale, plant that hand back down, inhaling the right arm out and up. Left arm out and up. Exhale, thread the needle. You know what arm you guys are on. So again, about 5 breaths here. The next time you inhale, press into that right arm, inhaling the left arm out and up, and exhale that hand back down to the mat. And then make your way into, I lost my brain for a second. Go ahead and make your way into a seat so we can gather props for the next pose. So you're going to be moving into a supported bridge next. So I want you to get a block or a not too squishy, maybe throw pillow that's like one of those kind of sturdy ones, or a rolled up blanket of some kind. You can use one if you can make it pretty thick, at least a couple inches. And you're gonna come lying down on your back. And before we actually come into a supported bridge, we're just gonna take a little bit of a bridge flow. So tonight is a gentle but sort of warming practice. Our Thursdays have kind of turned into a little bit more zhuzh, I guess you could say. And our Tuesdays are a lot more gentle. So, a lot more restorative. But don't worry, we're going to get to those restorative poses tonight too. So here, pull the heels pretty close to the rear in line with the sitting bones. And then the palms will start face down as you take a nice long exhale. Prepare for that next yummy inhale. And as you inhale, lift the hips up towards the sky, lifting the arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, come back down. And as you inhale, back up. So allow this to happen for the next 4 breath cycles. So that's a breath cycle is a full inhale and exhale in this case. So hopefully you've noticed a little warmth in the belly, a little warmth maybe in the arms, maybe even a little bit in the thighs. But if you notice your glutes are really turning on, keep that in mind for next time and think to yourself, I have to release my butt a little bit. Release the glutes. They don't need to do all the work in this pose. So now we're going to move into a supported bridge. And in order to do that, just take a nice big inhale, lift the hips off the mat, move that block underneath the sacrum, which is where your low back and your butt kind of meet up. There's a nice little bony triangle. And when you get settled onto the block, so you settle onto that blanket or block, you ideally, you're not going to feel like you're falling towards your butt or falling away from your butt either. So there's kind of a middle ground there that feels nice. And then here, I want to encourage you guys to be playful tonight. So maybe you bring the legs up in the air and do a little bicycle motion, or maybe you just reach your legs straight up in the air and try to stand on the ceiling for as long as you can. Or maybe you bring the legs out in a wide V. Or maybe the legs come down into a butterfly with the feet on the mat. So just let there be some playfulness. I'm going to give you another minute and 15 seconds. As you do this, let your shoulders and your head and your neck relax. Let them be free and open. And if you're struggling with being playful and you can't think what to do, this is a good thing for you to learn. Just to let go. Just move your legs. Don't think about what they're doing. You might surprise yourself. So about 10 more seconds. And then find your feet on the mat. And let the soles of the feet join with the knees out wide. Just for a few breaths, we'll come into butterfly or Baddha Konasana legs. And then when you're ready, inhale the knees back to center. Plant the feet on the mat. The next time you feel a nice big inhale coming, lift the hips up off the block. And slowly with control, exhale all the way down onto the earth. Let the knees fall side to side. Get your arms out of the way. And just let your knees be free. It feels really good to walk the feet away from each other towards the edges of the mat. And let the knees fall as well. So if you, hopefully, you can kind of see what Brett's doing. He just moved the feet out. So your legs are still bent. Sometimes when I say that, my students move their feet out and long. I guess they think of like swimming. No, I'm just kidding. But you want the knees still bent and just let this, again, be free, maybe a little playful. And when you're ready, bring everything back to the center when you feel kind of evened out here. And then we'll take a nice big good morning stretch. Lengthen the whole body from toes pointing, fingertips reaching. And as you exhale, a nice long exhale, bring the knees to the chest and give yourself a squeeze. Rock side to side a little bit. And then we're going to jump into some of our more comfy poses. So roll to one side and press yourself up. And we're going to start with, I'm so excited. We haven't done this pose in a long time. So we're going to start with a babbling brook pose. So you're going to have one blanket nice and long. I would say 2.5 feet, 3 feet, maybe 3 feet. I was thinking 3. So you're going to roll up one that is pretty wide. It's not so important that it's 3 feet long. I just wanted to think about it. And then you're going to have another one that you're going to roll up a little bit thicker. This will be for your head. The skinnier one, the reason we want it longer is because we want it to be a little thinner. This is going to go under your heart. And then the thicker one will go under your head. The next thing you need is a bolster or some pillows, whatever you gathered for yourself for your cushion this evening. And this will be under your knees. So you're going to be lying on your back along all this. You're going to be the babbling brook along these props here. And you're going to need to move that quite a bit because that's under your low back.
Yeah, low back once in a while.
No, you need it under your heart. So the long one, to repeat in case you weren't listening, is under your heart. You know where your heart is, honey. And then your shoulders should be on the earth. So it's kind of a precarious little spot here. Your shoulders should be almost completely resting on the earth. So if that means your roll is slightly lower than your heart, maybe more on your ribs, that's okay. But not on your middle back and not on your low back. And then you're just allowing the arms to be out wide, the palms to face up. And then we'll be here for a few minutes. Take a nice long inhale and a full exhale. As your body and your breath communicate with you that it is time to add a little motion, gently roll to your left side. And here we want to keep the cushion underneath the ribs and the cushion underneath the head, and just roll the knees off the, whatever your cushion is, roll the legs all the way off. Then we'll take a nice big inhale and reach that top arm, so that should be your right arm, all the way overhead and drape it long, like you're reaching above the head. So the forearm should be resting on the ear. Find a lot of length in the right side of the body. Filling up that right lung. And then sometime in the next couple of breaths, gently make your way back to the center onto your back and over to the other side. And I don't think I said anything about it, but that bottom arm is just long in front of you. And that top arm, you're just going to reach over, finding length and a little extra breath in that left lung. Beautiful. Take another inhale here, and then exhale that arm all the way down to the hip. You're going to prop yourself up on that bottom elbow and get the blankets out from under your chest and your head, and come lying flat on your back for just a few breaths. We want to feel that nice big opening we just created behind the chest. That yummy hug from the earth that kind of happens when you do these heart openers. And then we're just going to add to it. So roll to one side and press yourself up to a seat. Get that bolster and place it on the other side of your mat. So we're going to have it long ways. We're just going to add some comfiness. So here, bring your left thigh in line with, you can start on this side, it's okay. Bring your left thigh in line parallel with the short side of the bolster. And then tonight I want you to get really, really comfy. So put a blanket between your knees. Put a blanket underneath your hip if you want to. Put a blanket over top of you. Put a blanket under your head or an extra pillow. Really get some extra support here. And then bring one hand on either side of the bolster, and find your yummy exhale to melt down onto this cushion. As you sink into this pose, you might bring into your awareness one or two of the items on your gratitude list. And as you just bring a touch of awareness to those and then let them go, begin to allow yourself to favor the breath other thoughts are trying to intrude. Begin to bring your awareness back to the breath wherever you have gone. Take some nice deep breaths. And when your body and your breath tell you it's time, go ahead and make your way to the other side, getting just as comfy. Begin to bring your awareness back to the breath. And as you do, your breath might deepen and your body and your breath let you know it's ready for movement. You have two options. You can move into a more traditional Shavasana, or you can make your way into just lying on this bolster as it already is. So can you show them that? This. So you just leave everything as is and then come lying down onto the bolster. The closer that your rear is to the bolster, the deeper the back bend, even though it's subtle. So if you're having a little tightness in the lower back, just give yourself a little space between you and the bolster. Your other option is to lie flat on your back with the bolster under your knees or no bolster at all. And then your only job here is to receive the breath, receive whatever thoughts come in. We don't encourage them and we don't shove them away. We just notice, I'm having another thought. And we favor the breath. And we notice, oh, I'm lost in thought again. That's okay. I'll come back to my breath. Even if it takes 100 times sometimes. Begin to bring your awareness back to the room, back to the breath, back to the present moment. Gently, maybe the breath deepens. Some stretch, small or large, might begin to happen in the body. The body might be asking for something to happen. Allow that to happen. And then gently and easily begin to make your way to a seat. And any nice, easy seat will do. You can lean on something if you want. We'll just bring the palms together at the heart. Gently bow the head. Bowing to whatever universe or higher power that you believe in. Bowing also to the inner self that called you here to do some self-care. And we'll take in 3 more breaths of gratitude, exhaling anything that is no longer serving you. Namaste. Thank you so much for being with us, either live or on the replay. It's such a joy to have more and more people joining live every time we do this. Thank you all for the thumbs up. If you haven't given us one, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and a comment. I'd love to know what you guys are enjoying and what keeps bringing you back. And other than that, follow us on Instagram at Yoga with Caryn. And we'll see you guys on Tuesday and Thursday of next week at 7:15. Thank you.